All right, this is page 40, and number 18, I want to add these two scientific notation numbers, but I can't because this guy's a -3 and this guy's a -2. So remember our LARs. To make a -2 into a -3, I'm going to subtract 1. When we subtract, we move our decimal to the right, so 1 to the right. So I'm going to say 9.1 plus 58. That gives me 67.1 times 10, and we made everything a -3. Now, that is an unacceptable scientific notation, so I've got to get it to a number that's between 1 and 10, so 6.71. I moved it to the left, so that means I need to add 1. So that'll be times 10 to the -2. What is the product of 8.4 times 10 to the 8th power and 4.2 times 10 to the 3rd power written in scientific notation? So 8.4 times 10 to the 8th times 4.2 times 10 to the 3rd. Well, when we multiply the big guys. 8.4 times 4.2, that gives us a 35.28 times 10, add the little guys. 8 plus 3 is 11. Now, that is an unacceptable scientific notation. I got to get the decimal right here, 3.528 times 10. I moved it to the left. Left means add, so I add 1. So 10 to the 12th. The speed of sound in water is 1.46 times 10 to the 3rd meters per second. The speed of sound in air is 3.31 times 10 squared meters per second. How much faster does sound travel in water than air? So to figure out how much faster it is, I'm just going to subtract them. So 1.46 times 10 to the 3rd minus 3.31 times 10 squared. Well, first of all, I can't subtract them because these guys are different. So I want to add 1 here. When we add, I'm back up at my LARs, we go to the left. So I got to scoot it over 1 to the left. So now I have 1.46 minus 0.331. When I subtract those, I get 1.129 times 10, and I made it both 3's. All right, simplify. Ooh. So the first thing we need to do is work on this bottom section. So we need to subtract, but I can't subtract because the -3 and the 5 are not the same. So I'm going to add 2 to make a match. When I add 2, I got to go to the left. 1, 2. So I'm actually going to do 1 minus 0.04. 1 minus 0.04 is 0.96. Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite some stuff. I'm going to copy the top. 3 times 10 to the -12 divided by 0.9. Scoot that over a little bit, sorry. 0.96 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay, we know when we divide, we actually divide. So 3 divided by 0.96 gives me a 3.125 times 10. Negative 12 minus negative 3 gives me a negative 9. All right, let's do 22 and 23. First of all, you need to type that into your calculator. All right, I graphed that little guy. How cute is that? And are you proud of me? You should be. Okay, so growth or decay. It's getting bigger, so we know it's growth. Domain. Well, it always goes to the left. It always goes to the right, so we know that the domain is all real numbers. The range. All right, that is the same right as our asymptote. So let's look and see. So I did not pull this out enough for you, but if you look at yours, it never goes below the negative 7. So our range, y is always going to be greater than negative 7. And my y-intercept, it tells me right here, is 0. It's crossing the line at negative 6. Okay, let's do number 23. Type this into your calculator. Okay, here's our next graph, and I can look at it and see that it is going down, so it's a decay. We know the domain is all real numbers. The range, I did a better job this time for you, and so this is the line. It almost touches, but not quite. So it's a 2, and it's above it. So y is going to be greater than 2, which makes our asymptote 2. Y-intercept is 0, 8.